No Caitlin Clark, no problem. No Sophie Cunningham, no problem. No head coach Stephanie White, have no fear. The final boss, Austin Kelly, is here. The Chicago Sky, we came into your building and we just, from pillar to post, smacked you guys around.
When Caitlin Clark is absent, what happens to the Indiana Fever? Sophie Cunningham and head coach Stephanie White were both unavailable, and the Chicago Sky, led by Angel Reese, were confident they could easily secure a win. But they were completely mistaken. At the United Center last night, the Fever proved they are far more than a one-player team. Kelsey Mitchell dropped 17 points, Lexie Hull continued her strong play after earning a new contract, and Aaliyah Boston and Natasha Howard made significant impacts. Ari McDonald commanded the offense with poise and authority. The Fever didn't just win, they crushed the Sky by 27 points, embarrassing Angel Reese on her home floor. It all started with defense. From the opening whistle, the Fever set the tone and never looked back. Chicago struggled, shooting just 8 for 29 from the field in the first half, barely over 27%. Indiana held them to just 32% for the entire game. Imagine this, you're at the NBA's largest arena, the United Center, and your team has lost 2 of the last 3 games without your superstar Caitlin Clark, who's sidelined with a quad injury. Sophie Cunningham is also out due to personal reasons, and head coach Stephanie White can't even make the trip. This should have been a disaster for the Fever. Historically, there hasn't been much of a rivalry between the Fever and the Sky. The Fever have dominated the matchup. But June 7th felt different. With Clark missing her 3rd straight game and the team under pressure, this was Indiana's toughest challenge yet. Then came another blow. Assistant coach Austin Kelly had to step in as head coach. While he's been by White's side since 2012 and knows the system well, this was his first time leading on such a massive stage, the first WNBA game ever played at the United Center, with over 21,000 fans watching. Austin Kelly took over and immediately looked like a natural leader. He commanded the sidelines with poise and energy, getting support from fellow assistants who helped inject life into the team. Fans had packed the arena expecting to see their Sky capitalize on the Fever's weakened lineup. This was supposed to be revenge for Chicago's brutal 35-point loss in Indianapolis earlier in the season. The national spotlight made it feel even bigger. The Sky had just come off back-to-back wins against Dallas and believed the Stars had aligned for a statement victory. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark, still injured, was courtside signing autographs and posing for photos. But despite her absence, the arena was filled with Fever fans, and the building was sold out. All eyes turned to Austin Kelly, who stepped into the most important moment of his coaching career. He was no longer just the right-hand man, he was the decision-maker. With the leadership structure flipped, it was time for Indiana's players to find their own voice on the court. Without their star, teams often reveal who they really are. Would the Fever crumble under pressure, or rise to the occasion? What happened next shocked everyone who thought they understood this team. Kelsey Mitchell, expected to carry the scoring burden in Clark's absence, had been inconsistent all season, averaging only 15 points per game compared to 19 last year. Critics doubted whether she could handle the spotlight. But from the first quarter, Mitchell silenced those doubts. She attacked with purpose, moved without the ball, and didn't try to mimic Clark. She played like the best version of herself. She scored at will, hitting threes, finishing at the rim, and setting up teammates when doubled. With a team-high 17 points, Mitchell led a balanced offensive attack that Chicago simply couldn't contain. Her performance was a masterclass in veteran leadership. Then there was Lexie Hull, who continued her breakout season with another big night. She hit both of her 3-point attempts and finished with the best plus-minus on the team, proving her recent rise is no fluke. She's become the reliable shooter and defensive asset the Fever desperately needed. Aaliyah Boston followed suit, delivering a complete performance with 11 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. She also tied her career high with 5 blocks, dominating the paint and anchoring Indiana's defense. With Clark out, fans had been waiting to see this level of two-way play from Boston, and she delivered. The Fever shared the ball beautifully, recording 20 assists on 27 made field goals. Their offensive chemistry was on full display. Chicago had expected to face a weakened team, but instead found themselves up against a deeper, stronger, and more connected Indiana squad. This game wasn't about individual stardom, it was about a team rising together. Mitchell, Boston, and Hull each stepped up in different ways, playing like champions when it mattered most. The Fever dominated the boards and shut down Chicago's second-chance points, one of the Sky's usual strengths. They stuck to the game plan, played as a unit, and executed their scouting report at a high level. The coaching staff praised their effort, and everyone acknowledged that this performance was a key building block for the team's identity going forward. Perhaps the most surprising difference-maker was Ari McDonald. Signed to a hardship contract just days before, she wasn't expected to play a major role. But with Clark out, someone had to manage the offense. And McDonald stepped into that role like she'd been running the team all season. She was confident, composed, and sharp with her decision-making. McDonald finished with 12 points, 3 steals, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, and a block, but those numbers don't tell the full story. She hit 3 critical three-pointers, disrupted Chicago's offense with her quick feet, and finished through contact in the paint. Her presence changed everything for Indiana's offense. With McDonald running the point, the team spaced the floor better, which gave Mitchell more room to operate and allowed Hull to get cleaner looks from deep. Boston also found herself in more advantageous positions. McDonald's influence was immediate and impactful. She transformed the offense, brought stability, and gave the Fever a spark few saw coming. In just 1 week, she went from a depth signing to a key piece of a dominant team performance.